Jai Hind everyone. Years after fueling insurgency in Jammu and Kashmir, Pakistan is now fueling a drug war in Jammu and Kashmir. Recently, the Lieutenant Governor of Jammu and Kashmir, Shri Manoj Sinha ji, had said that nexus between narcotic dealers, terrorist challenges for country's internal security. Now, Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha has said that the administration has announced a war against drug in Jammu and Kashmir and it will rescue and save the youth from drug abuse. Now, herein, Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha has now declared that a 3-year pilot project or a complete supervisory plan is being launched in Jammu and Kashmir. Because drugs are no longer just a social problem in and around the bordering state, but now they are becoming a weapon of war. In Jammu and Kashmir, the authorities are now warning of a dangerous nexus between the drug dealers and the terrorists. And the drug money is not just destroying lives in Jammu and Kashmir, now they are threatening the national security as well. Now, this agenda that had already ruined a bordering state of Punjab, now the terrorists are using the same modus operandi in Jammu and Kashmir as well. Previously, the political analysts have seen that drug is usually seen as the first step to harbor terrorism in a state wherein the illicit money can be used to fuel terrorism. But now in Jammu and Kashmir, after fueling insurgency for decades, Pakistan is now coming up with a new experiment in this bordering state. But the administration, the local administration, as well as the legislatures are now behind them. And they have decided to come up with a 3-year policy to contain this menace at the earliest. Because in Jammu and Kashmir, the officials have now flagged that there is a direct link between the narcotics network and terrorism. And now turning this drug trafficking into what many now call this is terrorism in disguise. So recently, a new front, proxy warfare, has been launched. Okay, Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha has identified this nexus, and they say that it is no longer just a social issue, but a tool of proxy warfare against the security of the country. Now, along with this, they say the terrorists and the drug dealers share the common goal of disrupting the country's peace, unity and security, and the proceeds of drug trade are used to fuel terrorism against India. Now we can see the local administration has now understood that after the operations being conducted by the security forces and the tightening of grip around the terror funding, the terrorists are now using this way. The Pakistan is now using this method to fuel terrorism into Kashmir by now targeting the biggest asset of the country, which is the youth of the country. Now, this narco-terrorism has got multiple facets, okay? And if we talk about the modus operandi, the strategic targeting has been at its best. Now, the Pakistani-based handlers are systematically using drugs to dry Jammu and Kashmir. Now, they are targeting the youth. Okay, for decades, Pakistan had used the youth and they had radicalized the youth against India. But now, since after the establishment of democratically elected government, okay, and the local leaders also understanding that Pakistan has not supported Kashmir, instead they have just exploited Kashmir. So Pakistan are now targeting the so-called assets. Okay, the so-called, according to Pakistanis, they are the loose targets, and according to them, they will bleed Jammu Kashmir dry if the youth is pushed into drugs. Okay, second is the funding violence. Okay, so drug money shall be used to directly finance the terror activities and to buy the weapons. Clear? Third is the evolving tactics. Okay, smuggling methods include drone incursions. Okay, now these methods had previously been used in Punjab as well. Okay, wherein at the VRs the drugs are being dropped around the bordering regions with the use of drones or with the use of some smugglers, okay, wherein all women network is also being used to evade the detection. Clear? So the women are being used, but something which the local administration has understood quite early is because the Pakistan has previously also used women and children against the security agencies, against the state of Jammu and Kashmir as well as the administration. So herein the administration has now understood that again the smugglers are primarily women, and in order to evade the detection they are the ones who are smuggling drugs into Jammu and Kashmir. But the government has now declared a zero mercy policy. Okay, now they have declared that in the first 22 days of a 100-day campaign, 518 drug smugglers have been arrested and 24 properties have already been demolished. Okay, 300 driving licenses have been cancelled and vehicles have also been seized. Okay, now the bank accounts of the drug peddlers will be frozen. Okay, the passports will be revoked and their properties will be attached. Now herein Lieutenant Governor Sinha has declared that when there is guilt there will be no mercy. Drug smugglers will be treated like enemies of the country. Okay, so this effectively a multi-pronged strategy will be launched against the drug peddlers and the ones who are approaching this drug terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir. Now, this modus operandi will be implemented for a 3-year duration. Moreover, the government has also declared that if the individual who is found as a drug addict will be now helped, encouraged into rehabilitation, and post rehabilitation the government would supervise the activities of the drug addict or the one who was previously associated with them. Okay, for this the government has now launched a 3P approach. Now this 3P approach says disruption, awareness and recovery. Okay, so they would dismantle, they would disrupt the supply chains, then they would create awareness, grassroots education and community vigilance will be started. So on ground workers will be appointed, and as previously the on ground workers have been helping the security agencies as well as the administration, they will now be used as vigilantes against the drug addiction as well as the people who are promoting drug addiction in this valley. Moreover, third is recovery. The rehabilitation with dignity and care of addicts will be launched so that they are not made a social neglect. So the government is now targeting that radicalizing the people in the bordering state of Jammu and Kashmir has always been easy, and the people who are slightly against the administration have been easy targets of Jammu and Kashmir, has been easy targets for Pakistan. But now the administration is working on a very thin line, and the administration has understood that in case the government acts in a unplanned manner, there are high chances that the strategy or the situation may go out of control. So Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha has now decided to launch a collective fight, a Jan Andolan. Now, according to him, a public participation is very, very necessary, and public participation will be the unshakable force against this drug-based terrorism. Religious leaders, teachers, and citizens would be urged to be the administration's eyes and ears in this region. Clear? Along with this, now, Governor Sinha says that there will be very strict action that would be taken against the drug peddlers. So, as in this 3-year policy, in this 3-year supervisory policy, the administration has now decided that in case somebody is found, somebody would be once the issue is once the conviction is carried out, the individual will not made to be to enjoy his or her life as an individual, as a respected citizen of this state. In this situation, first and foremost, the bank accounts will be frozen. Okay. Secondly, the driving licenses will be cancelled, passports will be revoked, and in case a vehicle has been registered in the name of the convicted, then the registration of the vehicle shall also be cancelled. Clear? So the government has now decided to break the backbone of any individual who will be found peddling drugs into Jammu and Kashmir. Clear? So this fight against narco-terrorism is not just a law and order problem, it is a strategic imperative for the safeguarding of national security. Jammu and Kashmir has now decided to put a complete stop on the narcotic supply in this region, and they would try to break the economic backbone of whatever the terror network would be establishing. Clear? A united effort will be created, and the aim will be to reclaim the future and secure the drug-free society, which may give an irreparable damage to the entire state. Okay, so in this situation, they are not leaving any stone unturned wherein this nexus would be broken. Okay, moreover, in this situation, the narcotics dealers as well as the terrorists who are already a challenge for nations internal security, now they have decided that whosoever will be found will be treated as the enemy of the state, and all strict action will be taken against them. Clear? So the decision has been a very useful decision, and in the early months itself the results are coming. Clear? So the government is now ensuring that the narcotics will no longer just be illegal, but the specimen or the examples would be set before the society that if anyone is found indulging in such activities would also be punished very severely. So please do let me know in the comment section, how do you feel and what all are the possible steps that can be taken up by the administration to put a full stop over this menace at the earliest. In case you are preparing for the civil services examination, UPSC 2027 as well as 2028 batches are now live. Okay, new batches are starting from 7th of May. Okay, so full English batches for GS Foundation 27 as well as 28 will be launched on 7th of May, and you can avail maximum discount by using the code SRM Live. Okay, do let me know your views over this menace, and I hope all of you would have liked this session. Please do share this session amongst your friends, and we'll see you all in the next session. Jai Hind.